Welcome back to the Inside Edit. I am so excited to be sitting down with a dear friend of mine. From selling denim cutoffs out of her high school locker to building a multi-million dollar fashion brand worn by Taylor Swift, Hailey Bieber, etc. Today I'm sitting down with Elena Bonvicini, the founder of EB Denim. Did I fuck that up?
A
Yeah.
little,
Okay,
a
okay.
little.
Okay.
Only my dad would notice.
No, I'll fix it. I'll fix
Okay.
it. Say your last name for me again.
Bonvicini.
Bonvicini. Elena Bonvicini. Nope, see?
Bonvicini.
Bonvicini.
Yes, perfect.
Thank you for being here.
This is a huge full circle moment. Do you know why?
Why?
The-
Tell everyone why.
Okay, so the last time that I was at this office was like 6 years ago,
Yeah.
and I was hand delivering PR to you guys.
Yep.
And
And
I'm
now-
on your podcast, which is huge, and it's an awesome feeling. So thank
Not
you for
only
having me.
that, you are literally opening your very first store down the
Yes.
street on like one of the coolest streets in LA.
Yes.
And you have come so far from when we met. Was it
Yes.
6 years ago?
I feel like, yeah, probably 6 years ago.
It's amazing.
It's been the craziest journey.
I want to start a little bit about like your early days and how you fell in love with vintage. I read something about it having a lot to do with your grandmother.
Yes.
So will you tell everyone how this whole thing kind of started?
Yeah, so my mom's side of the family is from the Midwest. My dad was born and raised in Italy and moved here. That's how I have the very Italian name. But my grandparents in the Midwest live in a very small town called Luck, Wisconsin.
Luck?
Luck.
That's so dope.
Yeah. And then the neighboring town is called Frederick, and I've named a few of my hero pieces after those small towns. But
Cute.
I would love going thrift shopping with my grandma. It
Mhm.
was our thing to do because there's really not much to do in the towns. And maybe like 7 or 8 years ago, I would buy vintage Levi's 501s for 50 cents. And
Wow.
I was in high school at the time, and I made cutoff shorts for myself. And when I went home to Orange County, my friends went crazy for them and asked if I could make some for them. So then the next time I went to the Midwest, I packed an entire suitcase full of these little shorts and just made the little locker room hustle and
That
sold
is so
hundreds of
smart.
shorts in high
Wow.
school.
Wow.
Yeah, I'd sell them for like $30 and I'd buy them for 50 cents. So it was at the time I was like,
Smart.
I'm making so much
Yeah.
money. Let's
Yeah.
go.
Where did you find this like entrepreneurial spirit? Did it just like click for you, or was like one of your parents like this? Like, where did that come from?
Yeah, so my mom is a business owner in the
Okay.
fashion world.
Okay.
And so she doesn't have a brand. It's kind of a different business structure, but I was always inspired by having a very strong female role model. And my grandfather's also an entrepreneur. So I always knew I wanted to do my own thing, and I always knew that I had the capability within me to do it.
That's amazing.
So I feel very fortunate that I had that in front of me, knowing that I could, if I wanted to, I could.
Okay, so you started bringing home these shorts and all your friends bought them, and then how did the next phase of this begin?
So shorts went out of season, and my mom and I wanted to do something together as a little bonding thing. So we decided every Thursday night we would go to Joann's Fabrics and take sewing lessons together. And at the time,
pure.
it's so cute. I
Had the
still cannot sew.
It's the opposite teenage experience, by the way.
No, I was going, sorry, my voice is shot, but I was going through my rebellious phase, and my mom was like, we need to do something together.
That's
And
great.
yeah, so we went to Joann's Fabrics, and at the time I was so inspired by Off-White and Vetements that were doing these
Yeah.
reworked Levi's and these t-shirts that were like half and half. And so I was like, oh, I can cut and sew a straight line. So that I started making these reworked vintage Levi's.
Yep.
And at first I would do them all myself. And then I got into a little boutique. I asked if I could be on consignment and do a trunk show.
What does that mean to someone who doesn't understand what consignment?
So consignment is basically you bring inventory and you put it on their shelves, and if it sells, they pay you for it, and if it doesn't, you own the goods versus them
Right.
creating an order for it.
So it's like no risk for the store
Yeah.
owner, but it helps you if
Yeah,
it sells. Yeah.
exactly. And so I did a little trunk show with them, and I told all my friends, I was like, I'm doing this trunk show. go buy something and I'll reimburse you half. And so all my friends went and bought everything. So the store owner was like, wow, there's some demand for this. So she let me keep the
Smart.
stuff in the store. And that's kind of how I got the
Damn.
ball rolling. Yeah.
That's smart, dude.
Thank you.
Yeah, does she knows now if she doesn't know. That's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So what came next?
Next, I wasn't able to keep up with cutting and sewing by myself, so I
Yeah.
found a lady on Craigslist.
Stop.
And I was like, "Hey, I have these Levi's. Can you rework them for me?" And it was very straightforward to do it.
Yeah.
And I I basically outsourced my sewing, and then I found better suppliers, vintage suppliers, and um I knew, like, the way to keep this going and to build it into something, it was kinda just a hobby at the time,
Yeah.
was to get it on people who had influence in the fashion world, who I
Mhm.
looked up to.
Sure.
And so I just started cold messaging whoever I thought had amazing style, and
Yeah.
so I reached out to Danielle Bernstein and
Mhm.
Chiara Ferrani,
Okay.
and
The
within
OG
the
bloggers.
OG bloggers,
Yep.
this was back in the day,
Yep.
and they both ended up wearing within the first week
That's
these reworked
insane.
vintage Levi's, and so I had
Wow.
a website with one SKU on it, and it was just this one style that they were both wearing, and funny enough, I was, studying abroad in Rome my first semester of college, and I had a friend at home who was helping me. She was sending jeans to the seamstress and shipping out my orders, my online orders, and sending the PR out and,
Wow.
doing all the things from home. And I was in Italy and Chiara Ferrani just loved this pair of jeans.
Yeah.
And so I emailed her assistant and I was in Milan for Fashion Week just to be there and to experience it. And I said, "Hey, I'm here, like,
Yeah.
can is Kiara doing anything, like, any events or anything?" And to my surprise, she was like, "Yeah, she's having the store opening." And so she invited me to come, and I showed up, and there was, like, thousands of people outside. And I was like, "Oh, okay." So, like, she invited me to just, like, be there. And then I messaged her, I'm like, "Hey, I'm here." She's like, "Oh, come inside." And there was, like, 5 people inside. And
Wow.
then I met Kiara, and it just was one of those moments where I was like, "Oh my god, this is the impact that this person has in real life. I'm seeing it with my own eyes, and she wants to wear my jeans."
Yeah.
And so that was one of those moments where I was like, "Okay, I was hungry, I wanted to keep going." And from there, the one style turned into 5 styles, and then it was reworked vintage Levi's. And then I was like, here's where you come into the story.
Wait, I wanna say one thing about this.
Okay,
I just
okay.
wanna say one thing about where you said you brought yourself to Milan to just be there,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
I think that this is such an important thing to note. Like, I did the same thing in the beginning, like, just getting you're like, "I have no plan
yeah,
here. I have no idea what's gonna open up for me in this,
yes.
but I just feel like I need to." I used to sit outside Bryant Park when Fashion Week in New York was still at Bryant
Amazing.
Park and just, like, hope, that I could
Yeah,
maybe sneak into a fashion show or whatever.
yeah,
And I think people who are self-motivated, like, obviously you're an entrepreneur, you've started this incredible business. You just had the wherewithal to be like, I'm going to put myself in this position and just hope something happens. And that's an expensive, and it could not land anything,
yeah.
but you just had the belief that if I put myself here, something might actually happen for me.
Yeah. I was living in Rome and I got a ticket to Milan and I knew I needed to
Yeah,
be in the mix. And
it's
even with
amazing.
with New York Fashion Week and stuff, I would always make it a point to be there and so many things would just line up and it's all meant to be and I think a lot of the fashion world is just like that. You have to be at the right place at the right time.
I agree. It's hard to say to someone. A lot of times kids will ask me, like, can I do this from, Minnesota? And yeah, you could do it in a small way in Minnesota, but at the end of the day, if you wanna come be my assistant, I'm gonna hire someone who lives here locally, who knows their
100%.
way around, who
Yeah.
has a car, like, who I don't have to start from 0,
Yeah.
So, it's a risk, but if you really believe that this is what you wanna do and where you wanna be, like, you have to take that risk. I came to
Totally.
LA with 4 suitcases and no money, and
Totally.
this has all happened because of it. So, I think there's a lot to be said for that, and it's like betting on yourself?
Totally.
So how did
Couldn't
we
agree
meet?
more. Well, we didn't meet for a while after that, but, at this point, I was like, I need to reach the next level of
Yeah.
influence. Like, I need to be on
What
these
year is this? Let me just
this is probably 2018,
Okay.
2017, 2018. And so I cold emailed your email. Of course, I did not get a response. Not of course, but
Sorry.
like I didn't, it was a shot in the dark. And so I was like, I need to get to Maeve.
Do you
I need
remember how you found my email? Just curious.
through your website or something.
Okay.
I probably just searched it everywhere I could,
Yeah.
and it was like an info email or something.
Oh, it probably was. I used to have that on my
Yeah.
website, but that's so smart, and I think great advice for somebody who's even though it didn't land the first time, it might work
Yeah.
later, you know?
I mean, that's how I got on Chiara Ferrani was I went on her she had a blog called or does
Of
Blonde
course.
Salad,
Of
and
course.
I found every email I could and emailed
Yeah,
them, and someone replied.
exactly.
So I was like, I need to hire a PR team. And funny enough, I was working with MVPR, which I can see from,
It's across Yeah.
but they were in New York at the
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
And they got my jean or these shorts on Hailey, those upcycled like OG
I remember.
seamed shorts,
Yeah.
and she wore them so many times I lost count. And
Really?
yes, I kid you not. I
So
have
they
maybe
got it
12 paparazzi photos of her in different outfits in those shorts.
well, first I wanna say, how did that so you hire a PR team, they and of course have contact with stylists,
Yes.
and they were able to reach out to me and I said, "Oh yeah, those are cute for Haley," whatever.
Yeah.
I put them in a fitting. We obviously don't know whether she's gonna like them or not.
Right.
She ends up loving them and wearing them to death. And so, like,
Yeah.
what happened for your business when someone like, hey, I think was she still Baldwin at the time, or was she?
She was I think she was Baldwin.
I do too.
Yeah. She
But
was
even
Baldwin.
still,
Mhm.
huge influence.
Totally.
What did that do for your business?
It completely I owe you so much, Maeve.
Stop.
Genuinely it changed my life
Stop.
because I was at a point where I was about to graduate college and I had the choice of, you know, like I have maybe a year left. What do I do? Do I go off and do a normal career path or do I stick with this? And it got not only so much visibility for our direct to consumer business, we were getting tons of sales, but we also got in the world of the buyers. And
Mm,
within a month of that kind of excitement or, her wearing it so much, Revolve and Selfridges reached out. And
stop.
so I think those high level people are what really draw buyers.
Yep.
And Revolve just night and day changed my business
Stop.
and enabled me to grow into the non-vintage Levi's business that I have today.
Wow.
Um
I have like the chills. I could honestly cry.
I've always and I told myself so I was like, if I ever get the chance to like talk to Maeve, because I don't think we've ever really had a chance
No.
to
Yeah.
sit down and talk,
Yeah.
but I always told myself for years, I'm like, I can't wait to tell Maeve like how much
Wow.
she changed my life. So thank you so much.
Should we touch fingers like
We're
Ariana
touching.
and Dude,
Yeah.
that means so much to
Oh
me.
my God, of
I
course.
think that, like, it's something that has never been lost on me of
Mhm.
what something as simple like, really, in the end of the day, like, it's simply placing a pair of shorts on a client with that kind of influence, how that can change someone's life. It's never been lost on me that I've been able to help people do that, and it's like the gift, like, to
Yeah.
me, it really is the gift of
Yeah.
this business. This is what this podcast is about. This isn't just about clothes. This is
Mhm.
about like the ripple effect of how these things can affect and like
Yeah.
help people and change people's lives. And
Totally.
I know, like, for instance, Femme LA, probably similar story.
Yeah.
Like she literally changed their business
Yeah.
by the amount of time she
Oh
wore
my
that shoe,
gosh. Yeah.
So I
Totally.
just feel thank you for saying that.
Of
And I feel so
course.
grateful that I was able to inadvertently, help your
Yeah.
business like that.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
But it wasn't just shorts, right? She wore the
she wore
jeans.
a she wore a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you put me on Megan Fox
Yep.
and I think Lori Harvey and
Yep.
like so
Yep.
many of these major names that
Yeah.
it was just the
So in
most
the
amazing.
in the Haley era, like what other girls were then wearing your stuff?
I mean, from you, it was Megan Fox, Lori Harvey. I mean, I feel like every one of your clients you were putting
But there had to be other stylists who were
Oh, yeah,
using
yeah,
your stuff.
yeah. Kylie Jenner, um, in that era specifically. I'm, like, blanking who
I know, the early days.
the early days. Yeah, Kylie was a big one. I mean, like, her whole group of girls and, like,
Yeah.
all those influencers. Um, and then later on, we had Taylor Swift.
What happened with the Taylor Swift story?
Taylor Swift's story was amazing. So, my PR team had sent
Well, actually, hold on. I
Okay,
feel like we're missing a huge chunk of
okay.
you started instead of you moved out of the
The
reworked
Levi's,
Levi's,
yes.
right? And you start I'm actually wearing your jeans right now.
Yee.
And I think we were, the first to receive when you started
Yes.
making
Oh, yes.
yeah, so you decided to move out of this cut and sew thing. I mean, sorry, out of the
The Levi's,
yeah. So
yes.
what was that transition like and why, I guess?
I knew that there was a cap to how much I could scale the business,
Mhm.
and there was a lot of issues with the supply chain and having consistent product, and I really wanted something that I could grow and scale, and I knew I wanted to take this business to the moon if I could.
Yeah.
And so I decided to do what I felt like was a sure thing at the time, and I had this style called the unraveled jean, which had like an um a back pocket that had unseamed hems, and it was kind of like a high rise slim with you know it was a cute jean, but we basically replicated it. I found a factory through kind of like a consultant because I knew nothing about making jeans.
Okay.
When I first started my business, I went to the fabric store and was confused why all the denim was dark. I'm like, I didn't even know you had to wash it. So
That's amazing. So you
yeah,
basically taught yourself everything.
yeah, I had a
That's
lot of
amazing.
mistakes along the way, as one does, but I figured it out, and I would say that I know a lot now. But at the time,
Obviously.
yeah, I hope so. I'd hope so. But um, yeah, it was a lot of trial and error. I made one jean, the replica jean, and it sold out, and it was such a success. And I knew from there, okay, to scale this business, let's do more of the originals. And from there, it was like one SKU turned into five SKUs, turned into 10 SKUs. And then
Wow.
we were having seasonal collections
Mhm.
like any typical other brand. And we started introducing a little bit more ready to wear. We have a bunch of t-shirts
Yep.
and jackets and
I have a cute polka dot skirt from
oh
you that I've
yeah.
been dying to wear all freaking summer. So how big is your business at this point and how many people are you employing? Like where is everybody? Do you have an office? Like what were
Yes.
those jumps like?
So while I was still in college, I got my first office in downtown LA. I, kept hiring, and now we have just moved to La Brea.
Mhm.
So the store slash place that we're at now is our full headquarters.
Okay.
So in the very front, it's the store, it's the retail store, and then there's a loft second level, which is my office slash design studio
Amazing.
where we have all of our samples, the inspiration, and then in the back it goes our office with all the desks and the kitchenette and the break area, and then in the back is the warehouse. So the
Wow.
entire brand ecosystem is at
Together.
yeah, it's 5,500 square feet, and it's awesome.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So what happened with Taylor Swift?
Okay, what happened to so with Taylor Swift, my PR team at the time was working with her incredible, amazing stylist, Joseph, and gave him this dress that actually didn't make the cut. This is the story he told me when he came to my office a couple weeks after that had happened.
Okay.
But he said, the dress didn't make the cut. We had like 8 suitcases that were however many going to New
Sure.
York,
Yeah.
and they had a rack of stuff that didn't make it, and she walked in the room, she saw the dress, and she said, "I love that dress," and ended up wearing it to the VMA after parties.
This is crazy.
Yeah, and it fit her like a glove. I got a tip from, he had mentioned it to my publicist,
Okay.
and I didn't know what the scale of it would be.
Okay.
And so I was like, "Oh, okay, cool." You know, That's great. And then and then I'm at my friend Danielle has, like, an annual Fashion Week party in
Yeah.
New York, and
I've
it's
been to it.
crazy. Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah. It's like a rave,
yes.
basically.
And so I was there, and it was, like, 4 in the morning, and I look at my phone, and it's just blowing up.
Like
Just
your
my
Shopify.
Shopify,
Yeah.
my emails, I'm getting texts, I'm like, "Oh my
You're like,
god, why
"What's
is everyone
happening?"
awake?"
Yeah.
And then I was like, "I need to go to bed, I need to go to bed." I wake up in the morning, and I've never seen my Shopify go off in the way
Really?
that it did. And
Wow.
and the articles that were written about it, like, people just love her so much and write about her so much,
Yeah.
every single angle they can squeeze out a story about her, so we got such amazing press from that, and then we sent her flowers, and a week later, she ended up wearing, our jacket, and then same thing with that, blew it out, whatever, and then
So did it sell out your website? Like, what?
sold out my website, sold out all my retailers, selling out on pre-order,
Wow.
and funny enough, she
Can you
just
share how many units that is, or is that a little bit of a secret number?
I can say so that entire month, she 4x'd our monthly sales.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Um,
That is unbelievable.
yeah.
The
It
influence.
it was crazy. And it
Wow.
made me realize, I'm like, "Oh, there's that many people that can buy things online." And it just opened the scale of in my mind.
Yep.
And then about a month or 2 ago, she wore this same exact dress, but in a different color, and the same thing happened. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
When
Thank you,
she
Taylor.
Thank you,
Love
Taylor.
you.
Thank you, Joseph
Thank you,
Cassell. We love you,
Joseph. We love you
Joseph.
so much.
It's amazing.
Thank you.
I'm
Yeah.
happy for you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so in terms of other placements, were there any was there has there ever been anything like that, or
Haley has a similar effect.
yeah. I mean, I say this a lot. I mean, at the end of the day, these clients, like, it almost doesn't matter who the stylist is. Like the
Yeah.
influence really is the talent.
Yeah.
Obviously we're the like, the tunnel to, or the
Yeah.
funnel to getting it to them, but really realizing what the impact some of these girls are having on people's businesses,
Yeah.
is
It's
just.
huge. It's major.
And for you to be like a young female, I mean, I know how much Haley loved those pants. Like I mean,
Oh.
she wore them, as you know, obviously all the
Yeah.
time.
Yeah. No, it's life-changing, and I'm like, I'm at a loss for words. It's just I'm
Aw,
so grateful.
that's so sweet.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about what's next. So
Okay.
obviously we've mentioned that your store is opening on La Brea.
Yes.
Tell everyone the date, the
Yeah.
location, all the things, where they can find you.
Okay, so September 5th, I'm opening my very first EB Denim flagship store, and
Address.
the address is 217 South La Brea Avenue. And it is a pink dream. I wanted it to be a destination where people would go and feel inspired and have our own little oasis. And it's like entirely pink, monochromatic. We have a gigantic tree that's going in the middle. We
Cute.
have 11-foot tall mirrors, and
The
like
tree's pink too?
not the tree's not pink.
Okay.
The tree is real, and it's green.
Okay, it's a real tree. Okay.
but but
Cute.
I found this space, and it really spoke to me because it has amazing green vintage tiles, and it made sense to have the office in the back, and just so happened to be a place to have a store.
Yeah.
I never was really set out to open a store, but I just felt like it was meant to be, and I feel like I'm at a chapter in my life where that would be the next step for us,
Yeah.
like hiring the PR agency. This is our next step.
Yeah.
And
It's a huge leap, and it's
yeah.
I'm sure a lot of money to bet.
Mhm.
Actually, something I forgot to ask you, like, has this been a completely self-funded
Mhm.
project?
Yes.
Everything. You have no investors,
I
no backers.
I don't have investors, no.
Wow, dude. Wow.
It's
Another one.
Thank you.
Yeah. That
I
is unheard of.
it's been I pulled out a Shopify loan for the store.
Okay.
Um,
That's amazing. I didn't know they did that.
oh my gosh, it's the best thing ever.
Cool.
And it just deducts from your daily sales.
Shut up.
Yeah, no, it's the
So you
best.
pay back your loan with your
Mhm.
sales.
Yeah, it's like a maybe 10 to 17% of your daily sales. Yeah.
Wow.
Mhm.
Cool.
No, it's great, and
Shopify is so dope.
no, Shop I mean, it's a brilliant concept.
Yes. Yes.
Um, and I know a lot of friends who have utilized that as a tool versus
Okay.
getting investors, and I was contemplating getting investors for a really long time, but I
Do
have
you do what is it called? Factors?
yeah, I have a factor.
Okay. Do
I
you
would
wanna explain to people who
yes.
what that is?
Okay, so, let me see. I hope I can explain this, properly.
I feel
So
like I can if you can't.
no. So, basically, they, will give you an advance on your purchase orders from your stores, and they basically, um,
Okay, so let's
back
say it like this. Revolve places an order
yeah,
for $100,000. So now you have to make $100,000 worth of product and you
yeah,
don't have the $100,000 in cash to do it.
yeah,
So they loan you the 100K for
yeah,
a high interest, right? Is that
yeah.
right?
So, it depends. So, like, if you anything you have net terms on, so if your terms with Revolve are net 30, so they pay you 30 days after you
Delivery.
ship the
Mhm.
goods,
Mhm.
then for a lot of businesses, it's really tough because a lot of factories require you to prepay 50% and then pay the rest on delivery,
Right.
or they're like net 15. So it's like your margins are maybe 50% when you're first starting out. So it's like, how do you float that gap of time? So, what a factor does is they will check the credit of Revolve and say, okay, Revolve is not going bankrupt. I will guarantee this. And I will give you an advance of 50% of that order. So if the order is 100,000, yes, they'll give you 50% advanced. And so then I can take that 50% once I've shipped the order and then pay my factory, pay my employees and help maintain the cash flow.
This is amazing.
Yeah, so
This
that's very
That was
helpful.
a wonderful description.
Okay,
That was
thank
a
you.
great soundbite. I think a lot of people don't understand with production, like, how much money is being floated all the time, like,
Yes.
you're constantly waiting to be paid and praying
Uh-huh.
that you do get paid, and
Yeah.
you end up in a situation like what Saks was doing to
Oh
people,
my
and
gosh.
it's a
Yes.
disaster, and it can destroy small
Oh,
businesses like yours.
100%.
Yeah.
It is the oh my god, I'm like, "Ugh, I can't believe I got into fashion."
I know, it is the
It's
hardest.
the if I were to start another business, I don't know if it would be in fashion
I
just
understand.
because, 1, there's so many SKUs and
Mhm.
inventory is only has a certain lifespan
Right.
unless you're making core forever product, but a lot of fashion is so seasonal, so it's like a year later and the goods, if you didn't sell them, they're basically worthless, and then
Yep.
you try to sell them at cost.
So
And
it's a huge part of this too is like figuring out how
I
many units, right? Like not
yes,
getting stuck with inventory. Do you
exactly.
feel like you figured that out or is that still
Yeah, I have a good team, who specializes in merchandising and planning, and
yeah.
so we are constantly replenishing and, projecting, and, we I to be completely honest, was at a point a while back where I didn't have that knowledge and I made some mistakes. I overbought inventory and then
Yep.
I was stuck in this crunch of all of my money was in my inventory and I had to dig myself out of this hole and it was I couldn't sleep for months.
I understand.
Yeah.
I did that with the local love club too. Like,
Mm.
something sells really well at first,
Yeah.
and you're like, or, Justin Bieber wears your hoodie and then
Yeah.
sells out the website. And so then you're scrambling to replenish the website.
Yeah.
And then you recut and these SKUs, but then the fucking hype is gone.
Yeah.
And now you're stuck.
No, yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's like it's an impossible it's a really hard game to play.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Cuz you want to make it as quickly as possible
And
and
it's impossible
it's
'cause everything
impossible.
takes like 6 to 8 weeks.
Yeah.
You said something and I wanted this podcast is obviously about fashion, but I wanted to ask a few personal
Yeah.
questions that you can opt out of.
Yeah, don't tell me.
But, have there been moments where you're just like I can't keep going or were there huge moments behind the scenes that people didn't know about that
Oh
you
my
were
god,
struggling
yeah.
with?
I mean, so my friends and I talk about this all the time, but no one's born good at everything.
Yeah.
And when you're an entrepreneur, you're forced to be good at the things that you're not good at. Like I didn't wake up and become a natural born leader or like I'm not the best at finance or certain things, but I know how to make jeans that people want to wear.
Yep.
And so
You're creative.
yeah,
And you're not supposed to know how to, like, balance your books.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
It's hard.
yeah.
Yeah.
Um, but kind of in that period where I mentioned that I overbought, like I went through a period where things were kind of starting to crumble, and businesses go through different phases where it's
Mhm.
like the startup phase it's up to 250K, and then it's like getting to a million, and then it's getting from a million to 5 million, then
Right.
from 5 million to 10 million, and at each one of those phases there's different obstacles that are really common for businesses to deal with. And sometimes it's finding the right team, because the team that's taking you from 1 to 5 isn't the same that's getting you from 5 to 10. And so it's, a lot of times managing people's emotions is a whole part of
Yep.
being a leader that you also have to take ownership of. And making sure that the finances are prioritized. You're not just making cute clothes at the end of the day. And
Yep.
um I had one period where it was just like a lot of personal stuff and a lot of work stuff kind of crumbled at once.
Yep.
And I feel like something within me has never said it's time to give up. I always knew I'm gonna keep going, because the second you give up is that when you fail,
Yeah.
the only people that fail are the ones that give up.
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay, well, this is just I'll get through this.
Find another way.
I'll find another way. And I climbed out of it, and everything is better than I could have imagined, and we're doing
Amazing.
amazing now. And I think a lot of entrepreneurs and people in the industry, a lot of my friends struggle with the same stuff. And um, it's a part of the journey, and I've grown so much from those horrible, horrible, shitty moments where you just cry.
Yeah.
I know everyone has them, and it's just
They do.
um I'm here to say that I've had them too.
And
I've
you
had
got
them
to the
too.
other
And I
side.
got to the other
That's
side.
amazing.
Yeah.
I know. It's true. I heard someone say, or I don't know, it's like hire people who do the things that you know you're just not good at.
Yeah.
Like just
Mhm.
acknowledging what you're not good at,
Yep.
I think is a huge part of, when I wanted to start my brand, it was the same thing. Like, I don't know how to run production, or
Yeah.
I don't know how to manage the books. And so it's like bringing people in
Yeah.
who can help you do that, because
Totally.
you're not supposed to be able to know how to do
Yeah.
it all.
Totally. But at certain points you can't afford it all.
I know.
That's the
It's
hard
true.
part.
Yeah. And then it's
That's
like getting scrappy and
yeah.
figuring out, like, how can I accomplish this on my own?
Mhm.
So, for anyone who's interested in making clothes or the production of things, how does it work? Like, sort of A to Z, if you could summarize, you have an idea to like delivering it on your website.
Yeah, so I think the best way to start would be to work with a full package factory,
Hmm.
where you basically come with a concept, and it's best to come with a reference garment. So let's say you want to make a jacket, you come with something similar and then detail out what you want different. I didn't know how to make a tech pack. I didn't know what a pattern was. I didn't know anything, but I found the right partners who could turn concept into reality. And so if you can find a place like that, that's probably the best way to do it starting out. They will take it, they will create a pattern. They can either help you source a fabric, or you can find a fabric going to, I don't know, if I were first starting out, I would go to Mood Fabrics and just pick a fabric.
Okay.
And then they'll make a first sample. You can have a fitting and make adjustments. And then you'll have your what you call SMS, which is like your salesman sample, which you can then do your e-com shoot with. And what I would suggest if you're first starting out is putting it on pre-order,
Mm,
just to get a sense of demand, because I think what I've seen is people buy too much inventory when they first start,
yep.
thinking, "Oh, I'll sell 100 units," but not realizing it's hard to sell 100
It's
units.
true.
Um
That's so true.
when I was first starting with my reworked vintage Levi's, everything was made to order, because I couldn't afford to buy 100 pairs of jeans and rework them and sit
It's
on that cost.
it's interesting you say this, because some people like really don't believe in the pre-order, and
Yeah.
you do.
I think when you first start out, like
Yeah.
baby start out, and you're selling to your friends and whatever, just to get a sense, because if you make 100 units of something and the specs are off and it doesn't look right, you're
Yeah.
stuck with that.
Yep.
So I think that's a great way to just get a reaction from people and
Mhm.
understand what people like and don't like. And then when you have and honestly, I would take a couple and give them and PR them and gift them out.
Mhm.
If someone wears, then you can go from there. But I've sold a lot and I still do sell a lot on pre-order. Um, when we have incoming production or someone wears something, when Taylor Swift wore that dress, we were selling through on pre-order. And I think it's a good way because then you get the funds for it in advance and are able to pay for the production, and then you can ship the customer the goods after.
That's a great advice.
Thank you.
You so everyone knows that you and cutie Danielle Guzio are besties.
Yes.
Another designer that I helped a lot
Yes.
in her early career.
My girl.
So how has that helped you? And is it just the best to have like my best friend, for instance, is a stylist and
Yeah.
there's no one else I can vent to like
Yeah.
I can to her, because she
Totally.
understands everything that I'm going through, or I'll have like a weird fitting, or
Yeah.
an assistant will do something weird and I'm like, I can call Morgan,
Yes. Oh my gosh.
So you
100%.
have your own.
Yes.
How did you guys meet? And
We met through social media and
cool.
then we ran into each other at a party at New York Fashion Week.
Yeah.
We happened to be at the same party and I went up to her. I'm like, "Oh my God." Da, da, da." And she was like, "Oh my God, like so good to meet you in person." And then we ended up hanging out all night, had the best night together, and from there we were like tied at the hip. But she lives in New York and I live in LA, so we see each other when we go back and forth and we'll go on vacations together. We've gone to Paris a bunch of times together. And
So
no
nice.
one, there's like very few people in the world who can understand and relate to a lot of the struggles of being in this era and being a female entrepreneur and the fashion industry. There's so many nuances that are so challenging, like the same relationship that you have with your best friend.
Yeah.
And so not only that, but we just have the best time together. We laugh and we have so much fun and she's just the best. And she's so talented. So we just, she inspires me and
Yeah.
um
Will you show her something you're working on and be like, do you like this or not really?
sometimes, yeah. I think more so we kind of just like ask each other business advice. And we both support each other and we'll wear each other's clothes all the time and
So sweet. It's
um
so important.
yeah.
There's already so much like againstness in the
Yeah.
world or like online or whatever. And so to find like minded females in this industry it's not easy, and not get competitive and not get
Yeah,
weird and just support each other and uplift each other, I think is so important. And
totally.
so much of this podcast too for me was like to highlight people like you and like
Oh, thank
Danielle,
you.
and like
Yeah.
just we need
You
each
need her
other.
on.
Yeah, like yeah, I will have her on. I will have her on
Good.
next time she's here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
I've known her since
I
no,
know.
like, I swear, I don't even know if the brand was, like, really fully a brand yet. That's how long I've known
Guzio?
her.
Oh my
Yes. It was
god.
still called, I think, Danielle Guzio. She was friends
The
with
sluts.
Halsey. I was
Oh, yeah, yeah,
styling
yeah.
Halsey. I mean, this goes back long ago.
Yeah. Oh my
Yeah. Yeah.
gosh. The fashion world, it's a small, small world.
It is a very small world, and it's, like, a really great example of, like, of how important it is to maintain relationships, because
100%.
someone that might be your intern today, like, might be
Mhm.
your, competition tomorrow, and you never know, and you
100%.
gotta be
Has that
nice.
ever happened to you?
Um, no, well, yeah, I mean, Mimi Cottrell was my intern.
No way.
Yes. Um, Morgan was my assistant. Um, Danny, who styles Kim Kardashian, was my assistant. No, I swear to
Oh my god, I
God.
did not know all
Alex
of
and
this.
her sister were Alex was
Maeve,
my assistant,
you're grooming
who
legends.
styles Kylie Jenner. I mean, no, it's an honor. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? I think anyone who's weird about that is a
Yeah.
fucking weirdo.
Totally.
And like they're just a reflection of me. They learned it
Yeah.
here and they're killing it and crushing it, and there's
That's
nothing I love
amazing.
more.
That's so
Rachel's
amazing.
next. I'm just
Wow.
not ready to. Please, I'm not
You
ready,
hear that,
but
Rach?
I have this like weird question on Instagram the other day. They're like, "When are you gonna let Rachel leave?" I was like, I'm like, "Let her. I promise the door is not locked."
Wow. That's so funny.
No, I mean, I think, like, it will and it's funny that to go way, way, way back, I had wanted to work for this stylist, I mean, this is, like, I'm not kidding, like, 20 years ago,
Yeah.
and years later ended up taking her client. So, yeah, weird things do happen,
Yeah.
and it's a small industry in a small town, and I think it's
So
important
true.
to just be nice and supportive of
Totally.
people,
Yeah.
especially when you own a brand. I mean,
Oh, 100%.
this has been so fun. Tell us what's
Yes.
next for the brand. Obviously, this store, but what is your, like, dream?
Yes. My
Tell me what your
dream.
hopes and dreams are for EB Denim.
My hope and dream is that EB is the go-to brand for the next generation of women.
Yes.
And I just want to walk down the street and I want all the girlies to be wearing EB. And
They already are.
ugh, in this room,
How does it feel when
except
you,
for
like,
Rachel.
just see a straight except for Rachel. How does it feel when you're just, like, out in the world and you see someone wearing your stuff? Like, it must
It's
be
so surreal because it's like we're selling hundreds, thousands, whatever, so many units like in a single week on Revolve. And I'm just like, where are they going? Like they're going to real human beings' hands
Yeah.
and they're wearing them out in the universe. And so when I see it in real life, it all comes back and it's the best feeling. And I'm like, those are in my warehouse. They're
That's
like,
so cool.
yeah,
It's so cool.
thank
The
you.
first
Yeah.
time I saw someone wearing the Local Love Club was on an airplane, and I almost tackled them.
No
I was
way. Did you talk to them?
Yes, and
Oh
you
my
know what's
gosh.
so funny? It was Sophia Boutella, the French actress. I think that's how you say. I
No
swear to God, I'm
way.
like, not only did she buy it on her
No
own, but
way.
she's like a famous, amazing actress. I'm like, what the hell? We had just landed on a red eye. I'm like, I'm so sorry, but those are my clothes. I mean, there's just
That's
nothing.
amazing. There's no better feeling.
No, there
Yeah.
isn't. Probably like what parents feel like with their
Yeah.
kids. It's
Yes.
like the same kind of thing.
Yes.
Thank you for doing this.
Oh, thank you for
This
having
was so
me.
fun.
Yes.
I'm your biggest fan.
I'm your biggest fan.
And tell everyone where they can find you.
Um, at Elena Bonvicini and at EB Denim and ebdenim.com. And I will be at 217 South La Brea in Los Angeles, California every single day.
Hell yeah.
Catch me there.
Yay. Thank you.
Thank you.